Have you ever taken on a hike because you thought that it was in the range of your skill level, but once you're 50% in the trail, you realize that it couldn't be further from the truth? Yep, that's what Mount Odake did to me. Let's hike over 11 kilometers, starting from the Mitake Cable Car Station, to Mitake Shrine, to Mount Odake, to Mount Nokogiri, and to Okutama Station, in one of the most difficult day hikes of my life.
The next station is Mitake JC69.
The first stop of this hike is Mitake Shrine.
Any last words?
You can choose to go all the way up the main shrine, which is also the peak of Mount Mitake. But we chose to continue the hike towards Mount Odake. When you reach this part, you have to make a decision whether to continue to Mount Odake or to take a detour towards the rock garden. We took the rock garden route instead of directly proceeding to Mount Odake because the paths would still meet at some point and we want to see the rock garden. So that's why we're taking this route. On the way to the rock garden, you will pass by this boulder, which you can also climb up and offers a view of the nearby mountains. We have decided to rest in this area of the rock garden for a little bit and just soak in the nature that is right in front of us.
So, like Roborock actually it's pretty witty, isn't it? This is the route that we took and we're currently here. And the path should meet somewhere over here. Then there's a beagle. Then we'll be on our way to Mount Odake.
There are also quote-unquote toilets here, and the only one you will ever see along this hike. So I would highly suggest you use them if you don't like releasing your bodily fluids in the wild. After resting for a bit, we continued our hike and came across the sacred waterfall with a torii that is called the Gate of Painful Promise. Although I'm not sure how accurate the translation is. At this point, we have already hiked 3 kilometers and still have 2 kilometers towards the summit. The trail on the way to the summit of Mount Odake is easy for the most part. You would also see a fair amount of hikers along the way.
This is a nice trail. We're back at the original trail. I think we're past the one.
Yeah.
And girl, that's where you're so wrong. You know how hiking on flat land gives you a sense of hope and this feeling that you could do anything? That was exactly what I was feeling in this situation. After that semi-rock climbing, we decided to take a very short rest to eat.
Half of your video is just you eating.
And then move on. It gets very steep as you approach the summit of the mountain. After hiking for 2.5 hours, we have finally made it to the summit. At 1,266 meters, the view at the summit looks amazing. From here, you can either go back to the Mitake Cable Car Station following the same trail, or take the other way to get to another mountain peak named Mount Nokogiri all the way to Okutama Station.
Yeah, when your mother sees this, she'll love it.
So you see that trail that we took earlier, the one with like rocks where we have to climb it. It was also taken by Obachans and Ujisans. So if they can do it, so can you. But all Japanese people are built different. So I aspire to be like them when I grow up. No, I'm already a grown up. I aspire to be like them when I grow old. So right now our next destination is Mount Nokogiri. The trail from Odake to Mount Nokogiri all the way to Mount Okutama is very quiet and it's also really pretty. It's a pretty nice trail. And I think this hike is worth it if you don't really mind the extra 8 kilometers that comes along.
After an additional 2 hours of hiking, we reached the summit of Mount Nokogiri, where we got welcomed by a friendly crow. Mount Nokogiri is 1,109 meters high. Although there was not much view on this peak, it's still a worthwhile hike, especially if you're feeling like hiking 2 peaks in one day.
Four kilometers to Okutama Station. My feet are swollen.
After an hour and 30 minutes, we reached this part that gave us a spectacular view of the sunset. And that was a really good reminder that it's going to be dark soon, and we do not have headlamps with us, so this has just become even more stressful.
Remember what I said earlier about this trail being nice? I take that back. It's tiring. So if you come here, I hope that you're in shape.
We're going up another peak.
As I said in the intro, I may have taken on a hike that is way above my skill level because this is definitely difficult. I have read many reviews online about this mountain prior to this hike, and many said it was easy. But I guess their easy involves semi-rock climbing and using chains to support yourself so you don't fall into the abyss.
Do you want to say something?
Because this certainly is not my definition of easy.
Come at your own risk.
But that's the thing about hiking. You can't just stop right there on the mountain when you get tired or when you feel hopeless, because you won't be able to go home. And that gives you no other choice but to keep moving.
We're losing the sun.
Concrete road.
I'm a really slow hiker, so if you're like me, whose pace is slow, come early. We got here at 10 a.m. so maybe you should go earlier than that if you're also slow, but for normal people you would be fine. It's just me.
From here, we walked 30 more minutes towards Okutama Station. According to all trails, our move time was 6 hours. But all in all, it took us 9 hours, including all breaks and the time we took to take pictures and videos. This hike is difficult, but definitely not impossible. So if you're looking for a little bit of adventure away from the busy central Tokyo, Mount Odake got you. See you on the trails, everyone.